video, we will be discussing the basics of PowerTecher Pro. This is not based on Pathway. Again, these are just the basics of PowerTecher Pro. So when logging into PowerSchool here on the left-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and select PowerTecher Pro. This will then open up your gradebook. From here in this very top white box, you can select this and see the drop down. It will be for the 2022-2023 school year. For now, I'm just going to use the previous year since I know that there's assignments in there to show. But from here, you can go ahead and drop down, and then it will give you a list of whatever classes that are tied to you, as well as the periods. For today, I'm just going to use this elementary language arts at the top. So just to go over some of the features here in the top right where it has your initials, this is where you can sign out as well as you can choose how to view. So you can have it small, medium, large, and I believe when you have it on large, if you're looking at your student roster, it should also populate the pictures of your students somewhere here, like in this box on the left-hand side. So for today, I'm just going to keep it at medium. This question mark is just a help button if you're new to using PowerTecher Pro, as well as if there's any new features. If you select these, it should prompt a walkthrough for you and just show you some of the features that it offers. This here will let you know if you go ahead and run reports. There should be a little icon here letting you know what reports are done. This plus sign here is important. This is where you will go ahead and create your assignments as well as your categories. So if you select this assignment, it'll prompt you on how to create an assignment. There are videos based on each specific pathway, so I'm not going to jump into that for this video. But if you would like to watch how to create an assignment or use categories, there are videos specifically on each school's pathway. So then we'll go over here to the left. If you select class at the top, this is where you can find a couple of functions as well as some reports that you can pull if you want an attendance, class roster, etc. If you wanted to check any out of sync grades. If you go down to grading on the left, depending on pathway, this is probably where you will go the most if you're wanting to view grades. This assignment list just takes you to this screen, which is a screen of all of your assignments. You can click on an assignment, it'll pull up the student roster as well as any scores you've given. And if you're a pathway that is scoring standards, it'll have those as well. So we'll go back to grading, back to assignment list. This check mark here on the right-hand side under edit just allows you to go back to that assignment screen and make any changes if need be. It does tell you as well what type of score type and the points down here as well, when it's due, if you've scored it, how many you've scored, and then here's the categories. If we go to score sheet, again, depending on pathway would depend on if you use the score sheet or if you are entering grades another way. Again, there are videos made specifically for each pathway. So this is the score sheet. If we go here, categories, this just tells you all the categories that are made. These little schools indicate that the categories have been made at the district level and you cannot edit or get rid of those. Here is just one that I had created previously. This just shows it only applies to this one class. You can have it apply to all classes or two classes. And again, you can edit these as well. This will tell you if it's active or inactive. If you want to see any inactive categories, just select this box and it'll all of those will appear as well. Underneath grades, there's standards. Again, depending on pathway, this may be what you use the most when you're looking at your grade book. This is just more of the standards score sheet. Then you have traditional. Traditional is probably what any pathway will also be looking at. This here it will show you the grades for the quarter. Citizenship is also something else that will need to be completed. Again, there's a video on how to walk through the citizenship grades. And then here, any absences, tardies, missing, late, or incompletes that are assigned in your grade book when you're scoring, those would appear here as well. And again, this is just the student roster on the left. If we go down, there's comments, all reporting terms. And then if we go to students, it will go ahead and show all of your students. Here you could select also courses. For now, we'll just select on this top student. you can actually open up each student individually. It'll go ahead and show their progress. And this is what it looks like. So again, these are all the standards. So this would be based on a pathway that's moved to scoring the standards. If you select this little document here on the right, it will actually give you a graph of the student's progress. Obviously, there's only 2 assignments in here. I would imagine this looks much different with multiple assignments. So we'll go back to students. There's the standards score sheet, as well as the comment log. There's no comments for this student. If there was, they would populate here. Any observations, textbooks, the demographics. You can use quick lookups, daily attendance, any missing assignments. We'll go here to the left under progress. There's standards progress. This will go ahead and show you the progress based on each standard, if that's how the pathway that you're in is moving. So this went ahead and let me know that 37 of my students are in the green with 0 in the red. And it tells you how many assignments are tied to that standard. And you can actually break it down this way as well. And it'll tell you by color what each student has received. So if we open up this one, all of these students got a 2 on this assignment, hence why they're in yellow. If we go back to the left and go underneath traditional, probably won't use this screen very often, but it is here. Then you can go to reports. Reports on the left, this is where you can pull final grade reports, individual student reports, missing assignments, score sheet, standards, student roster. And then there's just a report queue where you can go in here to see. Sometimes a report will take a little while depending on the amount of data that's in it. Then we can go here to settings on the left. You can select display settings. This just asks you how you'd like it sorted. A lot of this you will just leave as it is. For this, I just have points only. This drop down here option allows you to have quick fill on or off. And again, there's a video on that also. This just tells you the little orange icon that shows up where you would like it to show up. This will also allow you to choose how you would like the students' names displayed, as well as how you'd like them sorted. If you want them last name, first name, grade level, etc. If you want to see newly enrolled students at the bottom or not, or if you just want them to go ahead and show up alphabetically. Then we can go to class descriptions. This just gives a little brief description on all of the courses that you have. So currently these 3 are tied to me. You can go to comment bank. Here you can add in any comments that you'd like to use that maybe you use pretty often. That way you don't have to type them out every time, and then they'll just show up in your grading tool, and I'll show you where that is in just a moment. And then there's also district comments. These are set at the district level. Again, there's nothing you can do with these, but they will show up in your comment bank if you'd like to utilize them. Then there's class grade scales. This just tells you what grade scales are set for which classes. And again, this little school icon is here. The grade scales are set at the district level, and you will not have access to change those or edit them. So the Alpha traditional scale is being used in 2 of the classes that I have, English language arts for grade 11 and English language arts for grade 10. It gives the grade, the district cutoff, the district grade value, and any color levels. And then there's numeric standards 1.0. And these are just example grade scales that will look a little bit different in your actual grade book, but is the same concept. So numeric standards only applies to my elementary language arts course. And then again, it kind of has the conversions down here. We go back to settings. Student grade scales, probably won't be anything there. Student grade calculations, this is how it will be set up in regards to how the grades will be calculated. And then the traditional would just look similar as well. So to go back to show the comment bank, we'll go ahead and go here. You cannot comment on each individual standard. I believe that you can comment on these ones, which would be the overall domain. So for this, it would be kindergarten reading literature. So it says right here in this box, that it's comment only. So you cannot grade this standard. You can only leave a comment in this domain right here. So when you select it, it will pop up with this your grading toolbox. Again, it reminds you that it's comment only. You can either just type something in here, and it will go ahead and prompt here also with this little indicator that you've left a comment. If you select this box in the top right, you can write a larger comment, as well as this is where you will find the comment bank. So again, you can go ahead and select, maybe you have favorites, you can star them and they will always show up at the top. You can use any of these, or you are welcome to create your own. And again, I just want to reiterate that there are videos broken down for creating an assignment, how the roll-up's going to work, citizenship grades, using categories. There are specific videos based on each pathway for PowerTecher Pro.